Our first pose for this round is going to be chair pose. We're going to move in and out dynamically from Tadasana or mountain pose. And the reason I'm starting with this one, if you look at our last series, I started with grounding, with something that's balancing for the nervous system. And this one is actually a little bit more stimulating for the nervous system, for the body in general, right? It's kind of harder work. But I want you to have something that is involved with the feet and the legs. If you're a therapist working with trauma, please know your clients, because I've definitely had clients where feet are triggers. So grounding in that way that we think about it doesn't always work. There's no hard and fast rules in that way. However, energetically for most people, if they start to get anxious or dissociate, it's helpful to feel the ground. And I think a lot of you have had that experience, right? So these are some poses, some physical postures you could incorporate into your practice that would help you to build that sense of connection to legs, to feet, to floor, to ground. So here comes our first pose, chair pose. Here we go. Come onto your yoga mat or find a space where you can stand and there's some room around. We're going to start with the feet all the way together, and the reason for that, it's a little more challenging balance-wise, so if someone needs to take their feet hips distance, that's fine. The reason in chair pose I tend to teach feet all the way together is if the muscles in the legs are weak, the knees can kind of wobble in and out, whereas when the legs are together, there's a sense of energetic kind of coming together and focus, and the legs have each other to ground and to touch together and to support each other, so there's less of that individual potential for stress on each knee. Okay, so that's the reason for that. So we're going to start with the feet together. Heels can be slightly separated though. And then on an inhale, we bend the knees, drop the hips, reach the arms up overhead. Exhale, come back to stand. Now you'll notice my knees aren't coming very far forward. You want to keep them back over the ankles as much as possible. Inhale. Exhale. Just one more time. Inhale, lower down. Now, if you're working with someone, you want to give them a little challenge. Remember, this could also be a little bit of a trigger or a stressor of sorts. You're going to hold them in chair pose. Take the arms forward for this, let the shoulders relax. Shift the shins back, sink the hips down, and press the feet into the floor. There's really a sense of energy in your legs here. Also got to use a little core, so draw your navel in. Take a full breath in, and exhale to stand. Circle your arms back, and shake it out. So that's our dynamic chair pose. I do want to show you one variation that's much more challenging. So this is more for you, but it also is something that you could use with a client if they really need to bring a sense of focus and they have a lot of physical capability. So sometimes I work with clients that do yoga, and doing something simple is just kind of, oh yeah, I do this all the time. So here's something you could kind of thread in, try for yourself, or try with someone who maybe needs a little more physical challenge, okay? Same thing, we're going to come into chair pose. This time we're just going to take the arms straight forward. Arms forward helps counterbalance so the knees can stay more over the ankles. On an inhale, you're here in chair. And as you exhale, lift your heels up off the floor slowly. Inhale, slowly lower back down. It's hard. Press your feet, your heels down. And then slowly come back up. So you can coordinate this with the breath in any way that feels right, but just make sure your breath keeps moving. We're going to do that one more time. So I'll inhale to come up, and exhale to slowly lower down. Now here's an extra challenge. Fingertips touch the floor, arms sweep up to the sky, full breath in chair pose. Exhale to stand, hands to your heart. Shake it out. All right, that's what I got for you today. Thank you so much for being here, and please share this with your friends. So if you know other therapists, yoga teachers who are incorporating yoga, who want to do it in a really skillful way, who want to have this conversation about how we can help clients, how we can just heal in general through this practice, please share this. Thanks.